Okay.
Proxy pattern. A class represents functionality of another class. We create an object having an original object to interface its functionality to outer world. So this demo that I found, image, real image, proxy image. So I threw it in here, man. So there's the image, real image, implements image,
Okay.
proxy image, implements image, private real image.
Wait, so what's going on here exactly?
That works for application controller. Like you have to create an image, which is the interface, the handle, and you have to create a real image, which is I think the handler, and the application controller class is the proxy image, I guess.
So the demo is just new proxy image and displaying it. So I don't know. So what are you saying the uses of it are? The app, the controller.
Yeah, like looking at that, that looks like the application controller. Like we create an interface, which is the
Oh,
one
yeah,
that's
that's what
gonna
this
have
is.
one method, like in common,
Yeah.
and we create the handler, which is like our functionality, and we call the handlers through the application controller class. So which apparently looks like proxy image.java.
So what's the difference between proxy image and real image? Is there anything different with those two, or?
I think the proxy image called the real image. Go here.
Is that what happens and then sets the real image into the proxy?
Yeah, because we instantiate a variable.
New real image right here.
Yeah, we instantiate a variable from real image of real image.
Mm-hmm.
So in that way, you cannot reach real image unless you use the proxy image.
Okay, so yeah, access proxy, as the name implies. And so, is this like a security way or something like that? Is that the only reason to have a proxy pattern is for security? So nobody can access the real image?
Maybe. Well, at least like use.
Proxy image is a proxy class to reduce memory footprint of real image object loading.
Reduce memory. Alright.
I'm guessing it has security, but this
Reduces memory too.
And that's for, well, at least using still the application controller, we kind of make that modularize, so we can add things easily.
yeah, in the demo it just talks to image and then does its thing, the proxy. It's a good site for that, and also model view controller pattern, which I threw in.
Oh, cool.
I
That's
threw
gonna,
into my.
yeah, I think I'll. Is that, oh, tutorials point?
Oh, I don't have. Yeah, boom.
Was that in his website or?
I think so.
Oh, okay.
Might not have been though. Like view controller, actual thing. I threw it into Java or into Eclipse, right? But student, the view controller controlling the view and the student database. So at the end of the day, you can shoot out stuff. So it seems simple. It's just finding stuff to use it with.
Yeah.
So-
Being creative or.
With a model view controller, you just have what? Like some just controlling the view?
You
Is
have
that
the
what it is?
model, you have the view, and you have the controller. And they all work together. Student is the student being.
So yeah, student would be the bean. Okay.
Controller,
Are like
the getters and the setters.
really, not just in the bean.
I think. I don't know.
Is that what it showed on the website?
Maybe it gets the information from the bean, but if you want to manipulate it, you would manipulate in the control. Let's say like the student bean has an ID attribute, and you set getters and setters that say the age cannot be less than like 0. I think you would put that inside the controller.
Yeah, because I remember what Barney said, a bean doesn't have any sort of calculations or anything,
Yeah.
and so I think an if statement probably would
Control.
considered a control pattern, some sort of.
Maybe
way to
the
control
business
it.
rules would be inside the
Controller
controller.
class is responsible to store data in student object and update the view accordingly.
Mm,
And then, of course, the view.
maybe if you have to.
Simples.
If I have to treat. Yeah. Okay.
Those are the two patterns that I've just barely scraped the examples up, and I'm gonna probably try and make another sandbox code with them. That's my introduction to proxy and MVC.
Yeah, I have noticed that I have gotten the like the basic idea, but for me it's hard to. How am I gonna apply that?
Yeah.
So what's the okay? I understand that, but
Mhm.
now what?
Cool. I guess I'll go. I've been working on putting my sandbox server and client into a sandbox server Java server-side application and then a client Android application. So I got it all working. It's currently I don't have anything in my database. I just completely wiped it, read it all the tables, whatever. And so you can see actually let me go back. Let me do this real quick. Okay, so we got sandbox server right down there saying waiting for client connection. All right.
Boom.
And then it's already installed on my Android in Genie Motion. So as you see up at the top, right here, Android sandbox right here. So it comes up with a login or create new user buttons. So you can choose whichever. Because there's no users in the database, I can't log in right now, but I can just do create new user and it connects.
So the server is in your machine, right?
Yeah, the server's
Okay, it's running,
just
your
running on the machine.
Okay.
And this is technically a separate device because it's in Genie Motion, and then I can just type in everything. Do that real quick.
Have you created tests to verify emails and proper structure of
No, I haven't done that yet. I just wanted to get it to work without any sort of
Oh yeah.
Validation.
yeah. All right. Okay, so we're in the middle of me putting everything in the create new user, right, inside my Android. And so I have all the information right here. I do create. You can see down here, Hibernate's working on server side. You see all the statements of it putting in. This is where it checks to see if there's a username of that name that already exists. But because there isn't, it went through, it created, set the account with those columns and these values that you can't see, and then so forth and all the other ones. And so if we look into my database, I can select all from account. You can see the accounts right there.
Bam.
Information's right there. Address. So there's the address. I hope this works because I just deleted and yes, it did. Okay,
All
good.
right.
I deleted something that I didn't think I needed.
You don't need it. You don't need it. You don't use it.
We're not using number. We want user. So there's a username, password, and then we
Does
got.
it come up as password or is that the password?
Okay.
No, that is the password. I just didn't want to actually put my password in there. So, and then you can see right here. Here's a one-to-many relationship. So many phone numbers or one phone number can have one account, or many phone numbers can have only one account, and many accounts. Dang it! I can't
One
say.
account can have many phone numbers.
Yeah, one account can have many phone numbers, and a phone number can have
One account.
One account. Yes, that's what I mean by that. So that I just get from Facebook basically because
okay.
you can only log in, or if you have a phone number set up with your account, you can actually log in through that phone number. So so it works. And then if over here, if I let's see, if I get out, it'll show that the connection's gone, and I'll connect again. and log in, connection, waiting for a message from client, and I could put in that username that I just created with the correct password, and it will tell me that I successfully logged in.
Cool.
And just to prove that it doesn't say successfully logged in every time.
Just to make sure it was not being rigged.
That was what I was thinking. That guy shared the weather thing. It's like, let's check the Rexburg weather. And it's like, came up on Friday.
Yeah.
If you just program it to say like the same.
So yeah, I've implemented
Boise, so that was.
I've implemented threading because you can only connect to the server through threads, and apparently you can only update the UI. Well, I don't know. I tried updating the UI in the main UI thread, but it didn't work, and so I used a handler to update it in a background thread, and it worked perfectly. I wouldn't get any errors or anything. And I showed a many-to-many relationship and a one-to-many relationship, so in Hibernate. So
Cool.
that's the big things that I got out of this right here, because I've already done sockets, I've already done client server, I've done Java beans, and a little bit of Hibernate, other different stuff in Hibernate, the basics. So, yep.
All right.
Oh, it does use application controller pattern too.
Oh, does it use?
It does use it, yeah.
Cool.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, write that down. You have to talk that.
Yeah, I need to show them tomorrow.
Yeah. Don't forget a topic. I did that. I was almost about to forget things. So man, I cannot forget things. I
Yeah.
type down. Otherwise, I'm not gonna make it. So I work with JUnit. It's a nice thing. I used his example.
Is that a rap group?
Huh?
That's a rap group in Brazil.
JUnit. So I used it in. I used his examples, and it works pretty nicely. So here we have our like project classes like business, employee, and we create one more class that will run JUnit, which is called here business test. And this class, business test, will have a set of methods that are supposed to test out our classes. So test link, customer, employee. Okay, this is another thing. Okay, test add employee. So this business class has a feature that adds employee to a list, and we're gonna test that out here. And we create a scenario before, like to set all the variables that will be used. And we run the method that we want to test, and we see if the result of this method is equal to the expected result. If it is not, when you run the test, you're gonna get like a red thing and one failure. So one interesting thing I learned from this is errors are not failures.
Yeah.
If you get an error, that's because your test class is wrong. So there's something wrong there. But failure is what we are looking for to fix our code. And I kind of created two new scenarios for that. I created like change employee salary was one I created, and in this kind of a relation, one employee can may have many customers, but one customer has just one employee, and that's the second one I implemented. One thing that I kind of struggled with this was to download the libraries. So for JUnit 4.11, you have to download two libraries. And the JUnit library uses the second one. And if you download JUnit 4.10, you just have to download that 4.10. But that's not the most recent one. I used both, and both worked.
So is JUnit like a plugin for
No,
Eclipse?
it's like Hibernate. You download the libraries,
Okay.
and you use the classes inside that library.
Okay, because I saw that you had like a separate window that shows the.
Oh, I think that came with the Eclipse. I think your has to.
Okay.
Start class soon. So that's what I have been working with.
Alright, awesome.